Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Shadow Shock, and what I want to talk to everybody about today is something paintball related. More specifically, cleaning your gear and making sure that you do so effectively and efficiently. Before I start, I'd like to apologize for the blurry quality of this video. I can tell from looking at the screen of my phone right now that it's not going to focus, so it's going to come out pretty blurry. I apologize for that, but I hope I can still get the point across. I've noticed over my years playing paintball that a lot of players think that they can come off the field and just throw their dirty paint-covered gear in their gear bag and leave it until next weekend or a couple of days later, however long it's going to be until they touch it again. And they think that after they do that, they can just pull it out of their gear bag and have it be in the same good condition that it was before. It's still going to be in the same condition that it was when you put it in the bag, which is dirty and grimy and disgusting, but it's probably not going to perform quite as well as it would if you had cleaned it. In terms of pants and jerseys and things like that, those are still going to do what they're supposed to do. They're going to protect you from the elements, and they're going to do what they're supposed to do. But in terms of your mask, your gun, your hopper and your tank, and even your cleats, they're not going to perform as good as they will if you had cleaned them. With cleats, you're not going to notice until they start to wear out a lot faster than they're supposed to, but I'll get to that in a second. I want to start with the mask. The importance of cleaning your mask is, who really wants to play paintball with a dirty, slimy looking mask? I personally don't. I have seen players who have taken hits with a JT Flex, which has the soft ears. They've taken hits right around the soft ear, and it's got paint all over it, and it's come through on the other side and gotten all slimy on the inside. And they just throw it right in their gear bag and pull it back out next time they're ready to play and throw it on. It's like, that's disgusting. You're getting all that old paint and shell and everything in your ear. Why would you want to do that? And not to mention, your lens is probably going to be blurry and hard to see through. I got lucky when I was playing yesterday, being Sunday. The paint that the field was using was kind of watery, so when I got hit on the lens, I could just wipe it right off with the sleeve of my jersey, and it wouldn't leave any blur or anything like that. So that's the importance of cleaning your mask, especially the vents. I've seen people take hits in the vent area of any mask, and if you leave it there, it's going to crust and it's going to clog them, and it's going to be kind of hard to breathe. So you're going to want to keep that clean. The next thing would be your loader. Obviously, if you don't keep your loader clean and maintain it, it's not going to feed the way it's supposed to. The rotor this is a pretty simple design. This might be the only exception where you could get away with not effectively cleaning your loader, but I'm kind of, I'm a stickler about that kind of thing, because with how much you pay for your gear, don't you think you should take care of it and not just say, oh yeah, I'm done playing. This is covered in paint, and maybe you chopped a few balls and some paint got down inside the feed, and oh, I don't care. I'm just going to toss that right in my gear bag and go, and not clean it when I get home. Yeah, that's a good way to treat a $150 paintball loader. Next thing would be your tank. Pretty simple. If your tank gets some paint on it, just wipe it off. It's not that big of a deal. Wipe it down with a rag, a paper towel, something like that. If you get paint like inside any of the little holes, like there's a little hole right there, I cleaned it out. It's not that hard to do. It takes like 2 seconds to clean that sort of stuff out. If your tank tape starts to get gross and come off, just peel it off, replace it. Not a big deal. The most important part is probably going to be your gun. Actually, it will be your gun. I've seen people who take their gun after a hard day of play. It's dirty, it's greasy, it may have paint inside of it, and they just throw it in their gear bag or put it back in the case, and then next time they play, they pull it out and they wonder why it doesn't shoot, or they wonder why it's leaking, or something's wrong with it. Well, you don't take care of it, bottom line. When I got home yesterday, my gun was covered in dirt and paint. The field was muddy, and you know, I was playing hard, so it got dirty and covered in paint. Now you can't even tell. I mean, it looks brand new, like it was just pulled out of the box. And it's actually got about 4.5 cases through it, and you wouldn't know by looking at the outside of it because I take care of it. I stripped the entire gun down, wiped everything down, cleaned and re-oiled anything that needed to be, you know, re-oiled and everything like that. I even took the trigger frame off, took the grips off, you know, wiped down around those because there was a little bit of paint underneath the grips, and there was some excess oil from the bolt and rammer on the top of the trigger frame just because it gets there from the solenoid. So you really have to take care of your gun. If you don't, it's not going to shoot, and if it does, it's going to shoot like shit. So you have to take care of your gun. Egos are probably the one exception to any gun that I've ever seen out there where you can just take it after a hard day's play and throw it in your bag, and when you pull it out next time, it's still going to work. It's still going to shoot just like it did before, even if it's covered in paint on the inside. But it's still just, it's disrespectful to your gun, and it's disrespectful to yourself. I mean, this is an Ego 11. I spent $1,250 on this gun. I'm not about to just take it and throw it in my gear bag and leave it there and then pull it out next time all covered in dirt and paint and other shit and just be like, hey guys, check out my Ego 11. Yeah, it's filthy. That's cool. So take care of your gun. If you take care of anything out of all of your gear, take care of your gun. Next thing is your cleats. This is a little known fact about cleats, but they will wear out and rot if you don't keep them clean. What I mean by that is, especially the bottoms. With respect to the bottoms, yeah, you can see that there's still some dirt and, you know, stuff like that on here, but for the most part it looks pretty clean, right? Well, you should have seen them yesterday after I got home. They were covered in dirt, especially around the teeth. And a cousin of mine is a huge soccer fan. He's played soccer all of his life, and he knows what he's talking about cleats. These are Umbro soccer cleats, and he told me that if you don't want your cleats to wear out faster than they're supposed to, when you get home, you need to keep them extremely clean. You're not supposed to get the insides of them wet, but if that happens, take newspaper, not paper towels or anything like that, newspaper, ball it up and put it inside the cleats so that it keeps the form, because otherwise they will lose their shape and the foam on the inside and everything will start to wear out. But with respect to the bottoms, this will all start to flake, and these bolts here that hold it together, these will start to loosen up and it will actually peel the cleat apart. Same thing goes with the seams and the laces. Everything on a cleat is going to wear out if you don't take care of it. You can even, I didn't, but I will next time or even later. You can also take a little bit of leather protectant and just, you know, wipe it on there with a rag, because even though these were only $30 at Dick's, if I take care of them and they last me, you know, a while, that's $30 that I can use towards playing or gas or, you know, whatever else I need. Pants, it's pretty simple. These were covered in dirt and paint yesterday as well, and today they're not. I don't wash my gear in the washer. I fill the tub up, and I use cold water, fill the tub with cold water, pour in some soap and some stain fighter, and hand wash them. I use an old toothbrush to scrub the, you know, dirt and everything off, and I do the same thing with my jersey. Throw it in there, wash it, and then when I'm done, I put them in the washer on the delicate cycle, and I only run it through the rinse and the spin, just to get any excess soap and water out, and then I hang them up to dry. I don't put any of my gear in the washer to actually wash it, and I don't put them in the dryer to dry them. Dryers will shrink your gear, despite what it says on the washing instructions, and washing machines, even on the delicate cycle, can rip up your gear. I've had numerous shirts and shorts ripped up by washers and shrunk by dryers. I'm sure we all know how difficult that is. So the bottom line, guys, is just keep your gear clean. And that's really it. Don't disrespect your gear. Don't disrespect yourself. It's not really a matter of keeping your gear clean so that when you go out on the field, you look like you're, fresh and clean and shit. No one really cares about that. You're gonna get dirty. It's the fact of the matter. You play paintball, you're gonna get dirty. You're gonna get dirt and mud and paint all over you. It's just part of our lifestyle. But it does help to go out and look professional, and part of looking professional is having nice looking gear, and most importantly, working gear. I'm sure we've all had, you might not have actually had the problem firsthand, but you've definitely known somebody who has come to the field and they're setting up their stuff and they pull their gun out of the bag and they put the tank on, they put the hopper on, they put some paint in, they go to the chrono and they air it up, and all of a sudden it starts leaking, or they start to shoot and the balls are just rolling out of the end of the barrel, or something like that is going wrong with it. And what do? They look at you. What's wrong with it? When's the last time you cleaned it? I don't know, like a couple weeks ago. Well, yeah, that's probably why. You didn't take care of it and now it's broken. So, given that situation, I tell the person that I'm not going to help them, which I won't. Because if you're not going to take care of your gear in the first place, I'm not going to take care of it for you unless you pay me to do so. Might sound selfish, but like I said earlier, with how much you spend on your gear, is it really that big of a deal to come home and spend an hour, maybe an hour and a half or so, cleaning your gear? I mean, I came home from a hard day's paintball. I was tired. I'm covered in welts. I don't want to be cleaning shit. I wanted to relax, but I still took me about an hour and a half or so to clean my gear, but that's because I'm very thorough. Even if you just give your gear a general wipe down or something, take your gun apart, clean it, oil it, and the rest of the stuff just wipe it down and wash your shit. It's still going to take you maybe like 45 minutes or so. I'd say that's worth it, seeing as how much you spend on your gear in the first place, and it's worth it so that when you get to the field, you don't look like an idiot and your stuff works. So that's pretty much all I got to say, guys. Just keep your gear clean, respect your gear, respect yourself, and respect your hard-earned money. So, alright, this is Shadow Shock, and if you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, be sure to let me know, and hope you enjoyed the video.